DIN is short for Director Identification Number. The idea is that you give each director or potential director a unique number to help better identify them. There's three reasons. First of all, it really helps you identify who you're dealing with. So for example, if you're Jane Smith, it helps identify the Jane Smith you're talking about and not someone else that's got the same name. It can also overcome small differences in spelling, so Nick and Nicholas, and small differences in address, so there's great uncertainty that you are really dealing with the same person. The second reason is that it helps, from an administration perspective, potentially maintain at the same time multiple records. So for example, if I move and change my address, it would enable me to automatically change a whole series of records at the company's office all at once, rather than having to manually go through and change each company where I may be having a change of address. The third reason is that it helps identify and protect the public from, or could do, a Phoenix Company situation. Well, Phoenix Company is a situation where a company rises from the ashes of a failed company. Under our Companies Act, if a company's gone into liquidation in the last 5 years, it's sometimes possible for the promoters of that company to transfer out assets into a new company, give it a similar name and then trade on. Now, it's not obvious to the public that the same people involved with the failed company are dealing with the new company, and that's often because the names are similar. The DIN proposal would make it more obvious that if the same director continued on from the failed situation, that the public were dealing with the same person, even if they tried to get around that by, say, using a slightly different spelling of their name or putting in their middle name or some other trickery to try and distinguish the two situations. Well, understandably, once you start to assign unique numbers, then people do get concerned about privacy. The second reason is it could add a little bit of additional compliance costs. Certainly there'd be an IT cost and a legislative cost in rolling out the proposal. And then the third reason is that it may give a false level of assurance and comfort by giving someone an official number that they're actually more qualified than they are. Now, I think all of those negative considerations are valid, but could be overcome in a developed proposal. We know that the Australian Productivity Commission's looked at it. At the moment it doesn't feature in Australia, but it does feature in a diverse range of countries. Hong Kong has a DIN system, India, and also Norway. We think it's a good idea, mainly for the identification reason, so that people can be sure on who they're dealing with. A second reason is the efficiency reason, the ability to update records once and automatically, for example, pick up an address change and run that right through all of the directorships that you may have registered at the company's office. The third aspect is that it just should improve the general integrity of the company's office and other public record information. Now, there is an important caveat to this. MB, the agency that's been looking into this issue, has also said that some people have put forward the idea that directors should be able to give the company's office an address for service rather than their residential home addresses. The current law requires directors to accurately give their home address information as part of being a director. Now that, for some directors, can have safety implications for themselves and their families. They may have disgruntled shareholders, customers, members of the public who may wish to make threats to their personal safety. Now, we think it's an eminently sound idea that directors have a choice to be able to give an address for contact or address for service rather than having to put their personal home addresses on to a public register. And we think it's very important that these proposals be developed hand in hand, not separately. Obviously, there'd be an IT cost in making any type of change and a legislative cost, so it makes sense to do that at once. And the privacy impact, the ability to give an address for service is one way to offset the privacy concerns that some directors might have by being given a unique number. So in summary, we support the proposal, but we do think it's really important that the proposal to also give directors a choice to put an address for contact be pursued at the same time.